Welcome to the Elusive Truth with Rich and Larry. Hope everybody's doing well. We got a crazy show for you today. With that, let's see if we can't get Larry on the line for a quick second here. He's been really busy. Let's see how this goes.
Hello, Rich.
Larry, just trying to see how you're doing today, making sure our listeners know that you're still alive and you're fighting the good cause.
Oh, constantly fighting the cause, doing well, and it's quite silent right now. That means so much could be happening.
Oh, wait till you hear today's podcast. It's all going crazy, my friend.
Oh my God, is it really?
But with that, I just wanted to talk to you, say hi, and I know you will be with us shortly, and we'll have a full report.
I thank you, and same to you, Rich.
Well, I'm right with you there, Rich, all the time, and I'll keep you posted.
Awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, you take care.
Okay,
all
Rich.
Right, bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. All
right, so it's nice to hear from Larry. Told you he's doing well, but he'll be with us soon. Now, on to the show. Haiti. Have you been hearing about Haiti lately? Oh my goodness, it's just getting crazier in clown world. So we're going to start off with CBS News, because this is what they're reporting. U.S. evacuates some embassy staff in Haiti amid gang violence. And we're going to start off with this to kind of let you know what's going on. Have a listen.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is traveling to Jamaica to attend a high-level meeting on Haiti today. The U.S. is evacuating non-essential personnel from its embassy in Haiti as violence in the capital escalates. And it comes after a massive prison break earlier this month. Now, the situation in Port-au-Prince has become increasingly dire. Many can't even find basic necessities. Vladimir Duthier takes a closer look at the growing crisis.
Desperation in Haiti, where UN officials say around 15,000 people have been displaced in roughly the last week amid the latest spike in gang violence. Missing from action, Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who has been staying in Puerto Rico since last Tuesday, following his return from a diplomatic trip to Kenya to lobby for security backing. Some in Haiti's capital of Port-au-Prince, including gang leaders, have called for his ouster. In a press conference last week, feared gang boss Jimmy Cherizier said his forces would fight Henry until the last drop of blood. And on Sunday, the U.S. Southern Command confirmed the military had conducted an operation to fortify the American embassy in Port-au-Prince and evacuate non-essential personnel.
The U.S. Embassy is actually located in a crossroads of about three powerful gangs.
Jacqueline Charles is the Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald. She said Haiti is near collapse.
Port-au-Prince itself is basically landlocked by gangs that control all of the major roads out of the capital. There are no international flights. There are no domestic flights to get to the north, which, remains relatively calm.
The Biden administration has been considering contingency plans for months, but has decided not to send military troops to get involved. That's according to a U.S. official. We've reached out to the White House for a statement, but we have not yet heard back. Joining us now for more on the situation in Haiti is Richard Contave. He is the CEO of Haitian Nomad, which is a global tourism company. So, Richard, one of the points that I think we should sort of emphasize is the point that Jacqueline Charles made in the piece, which is the images that we're seeing are all coming out of Port-au-Prince, the capital. The rest of the country is relatively stable. And there are we could do hours on why everything is centralized in Port-au-Prince as opposed to diffused around the country. Like most countries around the world, there are multiple ports. There are multiple cities with different factories and manufacturing. Everything in Haiti is centered in Port-au-Prince. That's due to the dictatorship of the 1950s. But I want to have people understand, from your perspective, what was Haiti like, for example, before the earthquake when you were a child?
Good morning, guys. I'm happy that when I read the caption, it specified that most of the gang violence was happening in Port-au-Prince, unfortunately. But a lot of times they say Haiti and they think it's the entire country. Now, growing up in Haiti, I was born and raised in Port-au-Prince. I went to school in Port-au-Prince. And, I remember days where, I could go to school freely without having to worry about any kind of violence or anything happening affecting school or anything like that. It wasn't perfect, but, it wasn't what it is today. So it definitely has taken a big change and change of event.
So then it must be absolutely heartbreaking to see this video, to hear about the dire conditions. You know, I want to get a sense of just how you feel watching and hearing the news.
I mean, you put it perfectly. It breaks my heart. Right now, I'm in St. Martin. I spent 20 years in New York. You know, I didn't want to do the cold anymore and decided to move to the islands. If I could move to Haiti, that's where I would be right now. I have 2 little kids, and I would have loved to see them growing up in Haiti, but that's the situation we're in right now.
You'll probably recall, Richard, that a few years ago, the former president of the United States referred to Haiti as a S-hole country. And a lot of people are looking at the images that are circulating on the internet now. Some images which are actually old and don't have any connection to what's happening today. And some of the language that is used around Haiti and Haitians is dehumanizing. But as I try to remind people, and Anne-Marie and I have talked about this in the past, about Haiti's history as the first independent Black republic in the history of the world, what does it mean for you to be Haitian?
You know, growing up in the United States, I remember when President Obama became president, and, you know, I've seen so many African Americans crying. And I have to say, I didn't understand it the same way as them, because for me, growing up in Haiti, I've always had a Black president. I've always had the freedom, you know, being in Haiti, that you can do anything you want because of who your ancestors were and what they accomplished. So that prepared me to basically a life in the United States where...
I'm sorry, I had to stop it there. That was a fluff piece. Let's try to break this down. So something's happening in Haiti. Marines apparently have removed some non-essential staff from the embassy. I guess there's some gangs, but apparently they're only in one area. I don't know. I don't even know what this guy was talking about at the end, how Haiti was in the past and vice versa. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now I'm going to play you a piece from Timcast. It paints a completely different picture. Unbelievable. I mean, for a second, they did mention that President Trump apparently had some choice words to say about Haiti back in the day. That's what the media said he did. He said it was, you know, one of them S countries. The point is, this craziness in Haiti is going on, and there's fluff pieces. No, it's just a couple gangs here and there, and I'm telling you, they are pulling the wool over our eyes. They are just absolutely going nuts with this stuff. So let me give you Timcast and see if he paints a different picture of what's going on in Haiti right now. Have a listen.
The situation in Haiti is getting extremely dire, to the extent that the United States sent in the Marines to evacuate some of those from the U.S. Embassy and provide security. And the reason why this story is so big is that it directly correlates with politics here in the United States. Several years ago, Donald Trump was accused of calling El Salvador and Haiti and other countries ish-hole nations. Right? I'm going to refrain from swearing here. And in response, liberals and Democrats bent their spines backwards to defend Haiti. Conan O'Brien flew to a high-security resort in Haiti, drank from a coconut and said, "It's so beautiful here." Trump is wrong. They ran some campaign called Haiti is Great Already and asked you to buy T-shirts. Many prominent liberals wore these T-shirts. I'll pull them up in just a little bit. The interesting thing, at the same time, Donald Trump was being accused of saying this. And again, we don't know that he actually did say it was a private meeting. Someone accused him of saying it. He also said El Salvador was also among these very awful places to be. And I find it fascinating because as of today, the breaking news is that cannibal gang leaders, or particularly a cannibal gang leader nicknamed Barbecue, who has been seen on video eating human, is now the most powerful man in Haiti. People are running in fear. There's videos of people being mercilessly beaten. Now, a lot of this is hard to vet. What we do know is that this crisis in Haiti has been ongoing since well before Trump was accused of saying anything bad about it. Now, there's some concerns. Because of this crisis, The United States has let in hundreds of thousands of Haitian refugees. And I think it's fair to call them refugees considering cannibal gang leaders beating and eating people. So yes, when you're fleeing that country, you're a refugee. And there's an interesting argument to be made for people in Haiti. It may be your best, your closest nation. The best chance of survival could be the United States. Now, there are certainly other areas in the Caribbean they could go for sure. We can make that argument. But the bigger issue is that there is no vetting process for the criminal aliens entering the southern border today. And many are concerned that 100,000 plus unvetted individuals from Haiti have crossed the southern border, many of which may be rival gang members and criminals and murderers who are fleeing the corruption and extremism of barbecue, they call him. Now, it's terrifying what's happening there. And I'm a fan of helping people and helping refugees. But that doesn't mean we do not have security. We forego security. We let anybody enter the United States to the southern border. We've got to have a vetting process. And we can only let in those that we can actually sustain and support. And this is freaking people out. Rightly so. The big picture here, my friends, Donald Trump offered you a view of the world. And in this, we got two different outcomes, El Salvador and Haiti. In El Salvador, Nayib Bukele took over. He got elected, became president, and immediately cracked down on the gangs. Today, El Salvador is considered to be one of the safest nations in the Western Hemisphere. So they say. At the very least, they say it is possibly the safest country in Latin America. But this is only 6 years since Donald Trump said it was an ish hole, allegedly. What happened? Well, especially with the news that Bitcoin has cracked a new record high, Nayib Bukele cracked down on the gangs, began arresting all of these criminals, locking them up. Haiti was defended by the left and Democrats, and they said it was fine. I want you to imagine what this country, the United States, will be in this worldview. Donald Trump says these countries are awful. Make your choice. Those who defended Haiti and those who criticize El Salvador. This is the fascinating thing. While people like Conan O'Brien and Bill Maher bent their spines till they cracked just to hate Donald Trump, you can see what happens in Haiti as videos emerge of a man eating human. Now, the reason why they do that is not because they like to eat people. It's to strike fear into the hearts of others, that they want you to know they are so depraved, they will eat your corpse. And then you have those in the corporate press here in America who said Nayib Bukele was a monster, was an authoritarian, was a despot. And El Salvador is safe, comfortable, their wealth rising. People are remigrating, leaving the United States to go back to El Salvador. In fact, there are people from the United States who want to be in El Salvador because of the great transformation that Nayib has brought to his country, lifting it up in ways many thought not possible. The corporate press would have you live in Haiti. They would have you own nothing and eat the bugs. And that's the Democrat support base. Let's go through the news. You don't need me to prattle. I will show you the facts. Miami Herald reports. U.S. military flies Marines into Haiti embassy, evacuating some staff in overnight airlift. The U.S. military flew in Marines to reinforce its embassy in Haiti and evacuate non-essential personnel as heavily armed gangs continue to challenge the country's tenuous government and turn the country's capital, Port-au-Prince, into a battlefield. The middle-of-the-night operation was conducted via helicopter by the U.S. military at the request of the State Department for Embassy Security, the U.S. Southern Command based in Doral said in a statement. This airlift of personnel into and out of the embassy is consistent with our standard practice for embassy security augmentation worldwide, and no Haitians were on board the military aircraft. Residents in the capital reported hearing an airplane flying overhead before the operation and sounds of a helicopter in the early hours Sunday morning. A National Security Council official told McClatchy that President Joe Biden personally directed the military to carry out the mission. He has been briefed, receives updates from his team, and is deeply concerned about the situation in Haiti. The airlift comes amid ongoing gang attacks in multiple locations around metropolitan Port-au-Prince, including Tabar, probably pronouncing it wrong, where the U.S. embassy is located. Several nearby businesses have been looted and overtaken by armed gangs that today control more than 80% of the capital. Since last Thursday, armed groups have led a coordinated attack, demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry and targeting key Haitian government institutions after taking control of several police stations. They targeted the main seaport before orchestrating a mass jailbreak at the two largest prisons. Thousands of inmates were freed by the gangs, including several notorious gang leaders. The gangs have also launched attacks on the international and domestic airports. Heavy gunfire around the airports has led to the suspension of international flights into the country. Henry, who is under pressure by the United States and the Caribbean community to resign, remains outside of the country in Puerto Rico, unable to return. In response to the attacks, Haiti recently imposed a state of emergency and curfew for a month and deployed members of its fledgling army to assist the Haiti National Police to help fight against gangs. The U.S. government recently provided the police with additional ammunition. The U.S. Embassy has limited its operations as the violence escalated.
I'll stop it right there, but that was Timcast. That was Trump was right about Haiti. Cannibal gang leader takes over, and Conan O'Brien is slammed for the Haitian lie. Check out the rest of that podcast or the YouTube video. It goes into even more detail what's going on. But we're just now starting to hear about this, and this has been going on for months and over a year. I tell you. Again, it all ties in. Now we have Haitian refugees, unvetted. Some guy named Barbecue Chop is the leader over there, and he's eating people. I mean, this world's gotten crazy. It really has. And we're just trying to stay safe in our own homes and take care of our own business. And the Biden administration lets 8 million people into this country have no clue what they are. It gets even worse. Apparently in New York, measles outbreak is, again, based on these migrants not having vaccinations from this. It's just everything is starting to get even worse by the day. We are now just starting to hear about this, and I believe it's going to get way worse, and people are going to really be pissed what's going on. I think one of the remedies is that we need to send the Clintons down to Haiti, and they can use their foundation to help give some money to these gang leaders so they stop eating people. We'll put them right on first class, see what happens. Oh, my goodness. All kidding aside, we need to pray for Haiti and the people because humans, unbelievable. Now, for the next clip, I have Force Boss. Illegals are taking over, and this is where we got some of this info on what are the diseases these migrants are bringing over. We don't know. We don't even know who we have here. We want them to vote for Biden because he's done such a great job. And during the pandemic, we all had to get vaccinated or we couldn't hold a job. They wanted passport IDs, but anybody entering this country, they didn't need to have a vaccination. That really made me start to wonder what's really going on. So with that, have a listen. Force Boss.
Well, we've got a measles issue starting here slowly in the city with the migrants. They are bringing diseases with them. And this morning when I was at the gym and I was putting my bag and stuff in the locker, there was a thing that popped up on WGN or whatever it was. I forget which news station. It said more measles being found in the Halstead and whatever location migrant shelter. The statistics they gave is 13% of the people can't show vaccination records or any history of treatment. And now, basically, they suspect there could be possible measles spreading in between these people. And they're bringing it here. It's crazy the fact that we want to be a sanctuary city, but we don't want to vet the people that come into the United States to make sure that they're not going to get other people sick. We're not going to make sure that they're not criminals where they're coming from and wanted where they came from, and they're just fleeing to the United States because they're trying to get away from what they were coming from. But we just let them in. Don't worry about it. Sanctuary city, just let it go. Doesn't matter. No big deal. Everybody deserves love and care, even if they get you sick and your kids sick, and then your kids die. That person still deserves care. You can't blame them for that. He wouldn't be a human being if you did. Who cares if your kid died or you died? Your family went without and lost everything because the sole provider of the family contacted some kind of viral disease from somebody else, some airborne condition from somebody else. Who cares, right? No big deal. We got more migrant murders now. I can't even keep track of what's going on lately with all the bull because there's more and more conditions every single day where you see migrants robbing people, migrants robbing stores, migrants in jail and right back out. Migrants murdered some 20-year-old, some 22-year-old, some infant. Yeah, all this going on. And guess what? People can't do anything about it because our government to blame for this, and they are in control, especially the Democratic Party, man. I mean, it's both parties, don't get me wrong, but the Democratic Party, I think a lot of you that voted for the Democratic Party, you need to wake up real quick and realize they are like the worst of the worst, the evil of the evilest, and that ain't ever going to change. That socialist, Marxist type mindset is absolutely disgusting. And that's all what they're about. And these people come from countries that are like that, and they're accustomed to it, so naturally they're going to vote for it and cling to it. That's the type that we have going on now. And we're going to be hurting real bad, real soon. Look at the price of groceries and everything. Almost doubled. Look, I mean, just to go fill up a shopping cart now, it costs you over $1,000. You know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we have to go through stuff like this, and we're continuing to give billions of dollars away to other countries and people that are not even from the United States, but we don't take care of our own people. Our own issues going on right here in the United States. Absolutely utter ridiculousness. And people ask me all the time, well, do you want them here? Are you a racist or are you a prejudiced? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. But if you asked me, or if that was the definition of being racist or prejudiced, you know, the way I see it, I want our people here, Americans here, to flourish. I don't want to take millions of people from other countries, flood the United States with it, and then take away from everything that we've built over all these years. In Texas, they got new video footage of one of these illegals breaking into one of the ranchers' homes in broad daylight. This is, you know, it's not like it never happened before, but now it's becoming all too common to see murders and rapes and trafficking and breaking into businesses and stores, garages, stealing shit from people's cars, workman tools and stuff like that, because the migrants are desperate and they're not all getting handouts from the government. A huge portion of them are, but not all of them. They have to try to find ways to make money. So they're going to start stealing and breaking into your... That's how people end up surviving when they can't get, or they can't find jobs, or they can't live off of the government. They end up stealing from people and they end up getting hurt, put in prison. Some of them want to go to jail because if they do go to jail, at least they'll get taken care of. So I think this is bigger than any of us really understand. And we're in for something very, very, very bad if something doesn't change with this next president, whoever it is. A lot of people are saying it shouldn't be Trump. I know I'm voting for Trump because that's all I know how. That's all I know that I feel comfortable with right now. But other people are saying, look at Dr. Rashid something, whatever, Ayaba, or I don't know what his name is. He's been exposing all of the fallacies and the like the lies and stuff like that about Donald Trump and the campaign that he works with, and actually breaking it down on why people shouldn't vote for him and vote for Dr. Rashid. I don't know. I really don't know what to think about any of this. I know what my mind is telling me to vote for Trump. It's a smart choice. My heart is telling me to really look into all of these candidates and try to figure out who would be the best fit. And my spirit is telling me don't vote for a Democrat. Anyway, I'm going to leave this at that note and say, God bless you guys. I love you all, and thank you for being here. We got to do this together.
That was Force Boss Me. Go check him out on his YouTube channel. Got a lot of common sense, as you just heard. And just to let you know, it's even crazier than you think. For my next clip, this is from Professor Nez. Exclusive. New York AG Letitia James demands revenge after firefighters booed her at some event. It's just crazy. I tell you, Letitia James, you're a class act. Have a listen.
Hello, everybody. We have some breaking exclusive news. Another news item that you will not find by all the main news media outlets. Will not talk about this. That is of the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. I almost said Letitia Cash Money G, but that's Fanny. It's hard to keep up with all these corrupt administrators in Biden's administration. It's hard to keep up with all these people that are going after Trump. Letitia James gave a homage at the FDNY, the Firefighters of New York City, an event that was held very recently. And as soon as they announced her name to present the honoree with her award, you heard chants from actual firefighters who were booing the Attorney General, Letitia James, and then finally yelling and chanting Trump towards the end of her speech. Now, if you have just a real quick recap of who Letitia James is. Letitia James is the Attorney General who, out of the blue, decided to go after and charge former President Donald Trump with a civil case in which was decided by one Judge Engoron. Most of you guys probably already know this. And Trump was fined over $450 million, which a lot of people, including yours truly, Nez, found to be utterly disgusting, utterly repulsive, a weaponization of the DOJ, as well as just an egregious deviation from actual constitutional law. And so she then posted this on Twitter. Check this out. So here you can see on her Twitter feed, she posts, first she posted this 464 million amount, just posted that. Like who does that? What professional, I mean, in any right would post and spike the football and gloat like that over something that a lot of real estate investors, a ton of business people, especially investors in New York, found to be absolutely, utterly ridiculous, and just proves even more that the government is trying to do things that is really beyond their scope and beyond their reach. And they're just basically inflating their big government status and their big government clause into every free market enterprise imaginable. But she posted this on Twitter, and then she reposted it. And so many people thought this was in bad taste, including yours truly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You don't find criminals being this audacious, let alone somebody who is the Attorney General of the state of New York, which is an office of esteem, an office of credibility, and always appear equivocal, always appear dispassionate and totally impartial and fair towards the aims of due process of law. This is anything but impartial. This is gloating. This is bragging. This is childish. This is 1 billion% unprofessional. It is right along the lines of Fannie Cash Money G. Willis. These people are just absolutely absurd. And if you miss this, check out this. If you don't take my word for it, take the word of somebody who's probably the most successful real estate investor on the entire planet. Listen to Kevin O'Leary. Check this out.
This award, I mean, just leaving the whole Trump thing out of it and seeing what occurred here, and I'm no different than any other investor. I'm shocked at this. I can't even understand or fathom the decision at all. There's no rationale for it. And so let me give you a real-time experience I'm having regarding this, and I'm not the only one. It doesn't matter what the governor says. New York was already a loser state. Like California is a loser state. There are many loser states because of policy, high taxes, uncompetitive regulation. It was already on the top of the list of being a loser state. I would never, invest in New York now. And I'm not the only person saying that.
And then you had the truckers boycott, which was so awesome, which is, still to this day, there's a lot of truckers who will not ship to New York City because of this. So you had a case where there was 0 victims. It was a victimless crime. Donald Trump was not being tried through a jury of his peers. One judge made all the decision. We all know everything about Judge Engoron. There's been undercover footage brilliantly executed by James O'Keefe where he was definitely showing a bias. He definitely wanted to go after Trump, right? Then you have the banks even coming to Trump's defense. He paid all his loans back with interest. The whole charge was that he inflated property value in order to get an advantage through financial loans through banks, which everybody does. And it's actually the bank's job to do their due diligence to make sure the property is valued appropriately. It's not Trump's fault. It's the banks that need to do their due diligence. Everybody inflates. You find me a homeowner who's trying to get a loan, who's going to give an accurate evaluation of their home, and I will give you $1 million. It doesn't happen, will not happen, never. Okay, then we fast forward to this moment right here, which happened very, very recently, where the AG Letitia James was invited to induct an honoree at this event that the fire department in New York, the FDNY, was holding. And then watch what happens here. You hear those boos?
Oh, come on. We're in a house of God. First, simmer down. I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
First of all, simmer down. I mean, I think oh my God, her whole demeanor, her whole attitude, she knows well in hand that what she did was an absolute witch hunt. What she did was unfounded, ungrounded, had no legal basis for it. It was a complete and utter weaponization of the Department of Justice, of New York City's legal system. And it was a direct attack, probably, I would say more, I have so much confidence in saying this right now, probably boosted and created and launched by the Obama coalition, the establishment, the swamp that's in Washington, D.C. And the fact that she says, simmer down, we're in the house of God. It's that same phony Kamala, that cash money G Fanny. It's just so egregious. Okay, so that happened, which I applaud those firefighters for exercising their right to free speech. This is still a free country, and actually questioning your leaders, even vehemently and adamantly opposing your leaders, is not only an American right, it is a civic duty. Check this out. I want you to check this out. So we actually got our hands on a memo. So the FDNY firefighters who booed Letitia will be punished and they will face re-education. These are memos and emails from the UFOA, which is the Uniformed Fire Officers Association. And the source here is Viral News NYC. And they are asked to turn themselves in or risk being hunted down. So I will actually leave a link to this. I want to thank End Wokeness on X for posting this. But you can see here that there obviously were, Letitia James was not happy. So the memo goes on to say that, you shouldn't have done that. That was totally unaccounted for. It's unacceptable. And then here's the part I really want to show you on the next page. And then watch this at the bottom here. I want you to see what it says here at the very bottom. Next steps. You see that underneath my image there? Have DC visit each firehouse that had a member promoted, relay bullet point message, which is just a bunch of bureaucratic nonsense. They should understand that BITS is gathering video and what is this communistic, like, we're gathering video, we're identifying members that brought discredit and to the department. It's the same crap they did in higher education. We want the members to come forward. They will come to HQ. This is absolute garbage. They will come to HQ to be educated why their behavior is unacceptable. And then right above my head, here's the second page. This is so unbelievable. And it makes me so angry. BITS is investigating this, the second paragraph, so they will figure out who the members are. I recommend they come forward. I've been told by the commissioner it will be better for them if they come forward and we don't have to hunt them down. Hunt them down? You're going to hunt down firefighters who risk their lives, who put their families, jeopardizes their family, sacrifices their blood, sacrifices their ability to take care of their families so you can have safety, so you can feel safe and you can get the help that you deserve as an American. You're going to hunt them down for what? For booing an absolute corrupt, corrosive vermin like AG Letitia James? That should make every American's blood boil. I just think that this is just such an absolute travesty. It's such a travesty of justice. It's the same bureaucratic nonsense that they used to shovel down our throats in higher education. Thank God I'm not, beholden and I can tell the truth about what happens in higher education. I'm now running businesses and doing my own thing. It's the best thing ever for my life. I know there's a lot of adjunct professors and professors out there who are like me, who are sick and tired of this 100-year-old system that is doing nothing for students. This is a direct result. I'm telling you right now, this is a direct byproduct of the worst infection, the worst virus that has infected our nation, DEI. DEI is the most parasitic virus, more contagious than any virus on planet Earth. It's infecting our airline industry, our educational industry, our public, private, free enterprise, every industry imaginable. And the reason I know this is because if Letitia James was white, Caucasian, all those boos, all of those yells would be plastered all over mainstream media. Those firefighters would each get a sit down with Gayle King or The View and Whoopi Goldberg and that bunch of nonsensical yappers. And they would be given awards and they would be applauded, be given book deals. But no, because Letitia James is African American, because she's black, just like what Fannie Willis is doing. Look, discrimination is discrimination. Any kind of discrimination is discrimination. Are there racists that exist out there? Of course. I'm an optimist. I tend to think that most people are good people. Are there racists out there? Of course. Does that mean that we should implement a parasitic ideology that perpetuates racism under the guise of diversity? Capital N, no. And it's affecting and costing lives. Look at what's happening to United Airlines. Do you remember the videos? I'll leave it in the end screen. Do you remember the videos I posted of the CEO of United Airlines who was like, no, we're all about DEI. We're going to make sure our board has black people on it and women on it. And we're going to make sure our pilots are unqualified just as long as they fill a quota. Look what's happening to United Airlines. The third plane just had to do an emergency landing because of faulty parts. DEI is the worst thing that ever happened to our country. It needs to be abolished. It is leftist, woke, virus, crap, garbage. And more importantly, it's costing lives. It's awful. If Letitia James was white, I promise you, everything would be different. This memo would not have gone out. This absolute abomination of a memo. Hunt them down. I mean, that is so... It's rotten to the core, man. You're going to hunt down firefighters who just are exercising their freedom of speech? I want to throw this over to you guys because my blood's boiling. I'm starting to sweat. I'm getting so upset. This is the whole purpose of this channel. We need to raise awareness. You think mainstream media is talking about this memo? Not even close.
Today we are making history, swearing in our first African-American woman chaplain of FDN.
Oh, heavens. Can you believe them firefighters? Poor Letitia James couldn't even hardly speak. But she wants to hunt them down and re-educate them. That's a good AG. Stay away from New York, people. I'm telling you, it's getting nuts. Okay, now for something a little bit more positive or uplifting. News Nation. Border Patrol agents happy to see VA members filling in the gaps at the border. Pretty good. At least something's going in our right direction. When we band together or we work together, we can accomplish things. Have a listen.
Let's stay in California right now. A group of veterans in Southern California is taking border security into their own hands. The group calls itself Border Vets and has spent time filling gaps in the border wall that migrants have used to illegally enter the country. While Border Patrol says only its agents and contractors are allowed to modify the border wall, these vets say agents have yet to stop them. For more, we're joined now by Kate Monroe, a Republican candidate for Congress and Marine Corps veteran who is part of the Border Vets group. She is also the CEO of VetCom US. Kate, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. I'm curious, just for starters, what was the straw that broke the camel's back for you, where you said, okay, I'm going to take matters into my own hands now?
As a CEO of VetCom, we deal with thousands of veterans trying to help them battle the VA. And I've been all over the news talking about migrants being prioritized over our nation's veterans in the VA HUD-VASH program, in the VA hospitals. I think that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. I had a ton of veterans reach out to me and say, Kate, what are we going to do to stop the onslaught of migrants into our country? And also in running for Congress, it's the number one issue across the nation. And I just said, there's a lot of people going out to film the border being open. There's a lot of people saying they stand for closing it, but no one's standing at the border to close it. And I'm a woman of action. And I just said, you know what, let's go get it done.
Yeah, you didn't see enough people actually doing something about it. I was reading about your group this weekend and also that, outwardly and publicly, Border Patrol has to say that what your group is doing illegal. But when you're actually out patching holes in the border, what has been the response that you get from those agents?
Well, first off, they're excited. Half of them watch us put up the wire. I said to a group the first time we went out, I said, you know what? You go ahead and do what you're allowed to do, which is to babysit these migrants till they're taken God knows where in our country. And I will do the work you should be allowed to do with these guys, with the border vets, and we will go and close the border. They applaud us. They told me they would vote for me. They, in fact, told us exactly where the holes are. So while we're not allowed to do it, you're not allowed to secure your nation. Yeah, come talk to me about not being able to secure your nation. I'd love to have that conversation.
Yeah, I can't imagine any agents who wouldn't welcome the help to make their job a little easier every day. Is your group pursuing actual people or migrants who encounter, who come across illegally that you encounter while you're out there, or you're just strictly working on filling the gaps on the border?
We're not trying to get involved in that way with the Border Patrol. We are simply trying to plug those holes. We're trying to do our part and make it more difficult for people to enter. See, what happened was Texas made it difficult to enter. And so they don't stop coming. They just find the path of least resistance, which seems to be San Diego. And so we're doing our best to thwart them here in San Diego to do what's best for San Diego County, for the constituents and voters here. If they're going to keep trying to get in, I suggest all of us in the country make it just a little bit more difficult for them to come.
There are certainly a lot of Americans who are applauding your efforts. There are certainly a lot of Americans who disagree with it. But do you ever feel like, Kate, like you're fighting against the tides here when you know that drug and human traffickers will likely just take down the barriers your group is putting up, like we're seeing everywhere else?
In some way, you're always fighting against the tide, whether it be on the border issue, on homeless crime, drugs, the crazy government stuff. You're always swimming upstream against pure insidious evil, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean you don't go do the work. That would be like saying, why join the military when there's all these wars breaking out all over the world? You go and do the work. If it's your calling to protect your nation, you go and get it done. And we will go back out there and we'll put the wire up again. It's not as difficult as people think it is. We got that on Amazon. It can get it delivered to your house. You can drive down there and put it up. So we will continue the fight.
A great big thank you to the American veterans that are helping out, still helping this country out to this day. A positive story from our borders. With that, well, for the last piece, we're going to have this guy, Maurice Delk. Remember that Charles Barkley? Remember that guy? He said if he sees anybody wearing a Magna hat, he's going to punch him out. Well, this is Dear Charles Barkley. I'm wearing a Trump mugshot on my head. Have a listen.
Dear Charles Barkley, look, I'm wearing a Trump mugshot right now on my head. I'm wearing it right now. You said you're going to punch any black people you see. Look, I'm black from the Midwest. I'm here. My name is Maurice Delk, and I'm here. So you want to dictate who black people support. I bet you wouldn't punch nobody out if they voting for Joe Biden. So it's who you want people to vote for. You know what? You just a washed up dude that never won no championship ring, never won a ring in your life. But now you want to dictate black people's votes. And now you want to incite violence, that you want to punch us out, that you're going to punch us out. I'm waiting right here, Barkley. A lot of us are waiting right here. You that big and bad. You that big and bad. So you get to choose who we vote for now, or you're going to punch us out, or you're going to knock us down, or whatever you want to do. Man, Barkley, you are a disgrace. You just an attention whore. That's what you are. You just want attention, but you ain't going to knock nobody out. Let me see you go to these Trump rallies and go knock the black for Trump out then. That sits behind Trump. Go ahead. I got a mugshot on right now, and I'm saying it way before you even said it, that these people, they're going to try us. And I've been wearing this way before you even said it. So I got the mugshot on. What you going to do? What you going to do when it comes for you, bad boy, bad boy? All right. Enough of you, Barkley. Enough of you. You just want attention on the TV. Sorry you never got that ring, that championship ring. Sorry you fell short to the Chicago Bulls in Game 6. Sorry you choked in the playoffs. So you just mad, bro. You just mad. Charles Barkley is mad. And dear Charles Barkley, Trump 2024. And Trump is a gangster, Like, wow, you just like the rest of the Hollywood, which I already knew that, but Trump is a gangster, You never made statements about what Joe Biden said about black folks. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. He didn't make that. Look, he didn't go say, I want to punch every black person that didn't do nothing about it. So, all right, get your stuff straight, Mr. Chuck Barkley, like whatever, man. It's always the has-beens, man. Gee, like Mr. T said on the Moon Rocket, I don't need no has-beens messing up my corner. Come on, has-been. Let's go. Punch me out, has-been. Punch me out. All right, I'm here.
Thank you, Maurice Delk. That's awesome. Just another leftist spewing their madness. So, hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you look forward to us next week. Keep looking for that elusive truth. Keep them higher vibrations and your higher frequencies. Work together. That's how we're going to do this. It's you and me and the rest of the world. We got this. So with that, take care. God loves you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.